Human risks everything to free wild alien girl. Will he survive? Welcome to my channel, Galactic Tales YT. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. The first sound was not a scream, it was silence. In the auction hall of Aeon 3, hundreds of beings waited. The lights flickered like tired stars. Rust covered the walls. The air smelled of metal and old fear. People came here to buy workers, fighters, and strange creatures from distant worlds. In the center of the hall stood a cage. Inside the cage was something the galaxy did not understand. A young hybrid girl sat with her back against the cold metal bars. Her skin was deep blue. Her hair was dark and tangled. A red collar glowed around her neck like a burning ring. Her eyes moved slowly, watching every face, every hand, every shadow. She did not cry. She did not beg. She waited. The auctioneer stepped forward. His voice echoed across the hall. Next item, military hybrid, designed for combat, very dangerous. 3 owners failed to control her. The crowd laughed. Someone shouted, "Show us the monster!" A bone was thrown into the cage. It hit the floor. In one sudden motion, the girl moved. She grabbed the bone and snapped it in half with her bare hands. A low hiss escaped her throat. Her teeth were sharp. Her body was thin but full of hidden strength. The laughter died. People stepped back. "No bids?" the auctioneer asked, annoyed. No one answered. Fear had replaced curiosity. Then a single voice broke the silence. "I will take her." A human walked forward. He was tall, but not strong-looking. His jacket was old and stained with oil. He carried no weapon. His face showed years of travel and loss. His eyes were calm. The auctioneer stared. "You want this one?" "Yes," the human said. The cage door opened. 2 guards approached. One held a shock baton. "Come out, freak," one guard said. The girl exploded into motion. Her body moved like water and lightning. One guard crashed into the cage wall. The second dropped his weapon with a scream. In seconds, both guards lay on the ground. The girl stood free, holding the baton. Her chest rose and fell fast. Her eyes burned with anger. The crowd panicked. People ran. Shouts filled the hall. Only the human stayed still. He looked at her and spoke softly. "You don't need to fight anymore." The girl hesitated. Her grip loosened. The weapon fell to the floor. She stepped toward him. Together they walked out of the hall. Above them, security cameras turned and followed. In a dark warship far away, soldiers watched the recording. A commander smiled. "That hybrid escaped. Prepare retrieval team." The ship jumped toward hyperspace. Inside the human's small ship, the girl sat in a corner. She ate the food he gave her with fast, wild movements. She did not speak. That night, the human placed a small key card near her. With that card, she could open the door and escape. She watched him sleep. She did not move. The ship flew through silent space. Then the alarm screamed. The ship shook. Another vessel locked onto them. 4 soldiers entered through the airlock. Their armor was black. Their weapons glowed with red light. The leader removed his helmet. His face was marked with old scars. "Hybrid unit, return to command. You are stolen property." The girl stepped back. Her body shook, not from fear, but from memory. The human stood in front of her. "She is free," he said. The leader laughed. "Freedom is not allowed." The soldiers raised their weapons. Everything happened at once. The girl moved first. She jumped high, kicked off the wall, and landed behind one soldier. Her hand struck his helmet. He fell without a sound. The second soldier fired, but she was already gone, moving like a shadow. The human grabbed a small weapon from the wall and fired once. Sparks flew from a soldier's armor. The leader touched a device on his wrist. The girl screamed. Pain shot through her neck. The collar burned like fire. She fell to her knees, holding her head. "Stop fighting," the leader said, "or you explode." The human ran to her side. "No," he said, "not again." He pulled a small tool from his belt and cut into the skin near the collar. The girl cried out, but did not move away. The timer on the leader's wrist blinked. 7 seconds. The ship shook as another blast hit its side. 6 seconds. The human's hands moved fast. Sparks flew. 5 seconds. The collar broke open. A small device fell to the floor. The human kicked it away. 4 seconds. The device exploded in the corner of the room. Smoke filled the ship. The soldiers stumbled back. The leader cursed and ran for the airlock. When the smoke cleared, the warship was gone. Silence returned. The girl lay on the floor, breathing hard. Blood ran down her blue skin. The human held her shoulders. "You're safe," he said. She looked at him with strange eyes, not wild, not angry, confused. The ship jumped into hyperspace. Hours later, they arrived at a dead mining station near a cold star. Broken machines floated in space. No guards, no people. Perfect hiding place. The human carried the girl inside the station. He cleaned her wound and wrapped her neck with cloth. She did not fight him. For the first time, she slept. Days passed. The girl healed fast. Her body was stronger than any human's. Each day she could stand longer, walk farther. Her hands stopped shaking. She followed the human through the station. She watched him fix broken machines. She learned where tools were kept. She learned how engines breathed and how wires spoke. She did not smile, but she did not hide anymore. One night, they sat near a wide window. Outside, the cold star glowed like a small white eye. The girl spoke again. "They made me a weapon," she said. "I don't know who I was before that." The human said, "You are not a weapon now. You are alive." She looked at her hands. "I killed many," he answered. "You survived many." Far away, a ship entered the mining zone. It was not alone. 3 dark ships followed it. Inside the lead ship, the scarred commander watched the station through a screen. There she is, the hybrid and the human, weapons powered up. On the station, the girl felt something change. "They are here," she said. The human stood. "Then we move." They ran through long metal halls. Old machines shook as power returned to life. Warning lights flashed. The first blast hit the station wall. Metal screamed. The girl turned back. "I will stop them." "No," the human said. "We go together." Soldiers entered the station. Their boots hit the floor in rhythm. Their guns glowed blue and red. The girl jumped first. She moved faster than light. One soldier fell, then another. Her body was like wind and fire. The human used traps. Doors closed. Floors collapsed. He fought with mind instead of muscle. They stood back to back. The commander stepped forward. "You belong to us," he said to the girl. She looked at him. "I choose myself." The commander raised his weapon. The human stepped in front of her. "Then you go through me," he said. The girl felt something new in her chest. Not fear, not anger, choice. She grabbed the commander's weapon and broke it in half. The soldiers fell back. The enemy ships retreated. Silence returned. The girl breathed hard. She looked at the human. "You could have run," she said. "Yes," he answered, "but I stayed." She nodded slowly. "I will stay too." They watched the ships disappear into space. Above them, the cold star burned quietly. The war had not ended, but now it had meaning. The offer.
"My name is Lyra," she said, "and I have a proposition for you both." Kari tensed. She didn't trust her. Neither did Ryan. "Proposition?" Ryan repeated, stepping in front of Kari. "We don't need anything from you." Lyra laughed softly, a sound that sent a chill down their spines. "You don't understand," Lyra said, her tone almost amused. "I'm offering you a choice. You see, there's a lot of people who would pay a lot for someone like her." She nodded toward Kari. Kari's eyes flickered to the floor. She knew exactly what Lyra meant. Ryan's hand tightened around his weapon. He took a step forward. "Don't come any closer," Ryan warned, his voice calm but firm. Lyra raised her hands, showing no weapon. "I'm not here to fight. I'm here to offer you both freedom, real freedom. All you have to do is come with me." Ryan didn't move, but his mind raced. What kind of freedom could she offer them? He didn't trust her. "And what exactly do you want in return?" Ryan asked. Lyra's eyes gleamed. "What I want is very simple. Kari, you're unique. You're valuable. I know your worth. You were made for a reason, and that reason still stands." Kari lifted her head slightly, her expression hardening. "I'm not a weapon," she said quietly. Lyra smirked, but her smile was cold. "No, you're not, but you're far more valuable than just a soldier. Think of the things you could have, Kari. Power, control, a place where you belong. No more hiding, no more running. You could join us, and I'll make sure your past is forgotten." Kari's eyes darkened. "I don't want your offer." Ryan glanced at her. She was tense, her hand resting near her belt, but she wasn't reaching for a weapon. Lyra wasn't done. "I'm not offering you a cage, Kari. I'm offering you a chance to control your own destiny. The galaxy is full of people who want to use you. I can give you the chance to change that, to lead." Ryan's jaw clenched. He knew the game Lyra was playing. "And if we don't accept your offer?" Ryan asked. Lyra shrugged. "Then you'll continue to run. You'll stay hidden, forever hunted. I think that's what you've been doing all this time, haven't you?" Her words were sharp, cutting through the air like a blade. Ryan stepped closer to Kari. He didn't want her to hear this, but he couldn't ignore the truth of Lyra's words. Kari's eyes softened just a little, but she shook her head. "I'm not a tool to be used again. Not by you, not by anyone." Lyra's smile faded. She reached into her coat and pulled out a small data pad, sliding it across the floor toward them. "Think about it," she said. "I'll be waiting. The offer won't last forever." And then, without another word, Lyra turned and left. The door slid shut behind her with a soft hiss. Kari stood there for a moment, staring at the datapad on the floor. Ryan watched her carefully. "What now?" Ryan asked. Kari didn't answer immediately. Her fingers hovered over the pad, but she didn't pick it up. "I choose to be free," she said quietly, "and no one can take that from me." Ryan nodded slowly, respect in his eyes. He didn't need to say anything more. He knew now. They weren't running anymore. The war was just beginning. "You messed with humans." The stars outside the station blinked like distant memories. Ryan and Kari stood by the viewport, watching the galaxy stretch out in front of them. The cold light of the mining station flickered against the dark space. They were safe for now, but safety was never permanent. Kari's eyes were fixed on the endless black, but her mind was far away. The offer from Lyra still hung in the air like a shadow. She had rejected it, but part of her wondered if she had made the right choice. "Why do they always come for me?" Kari asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Ryan didn't answer right away. Instead, he turned, walking toward the control panel. He had been quiet since Lyra left, thinking over the choices that lay ahead. "They think they can own you," Ryan said, his voice steady. "They think they can control you because they can't understand what you are. They don't get it. You're not a weapon. You're not a monster. You're just you." Kari turned her head slowly, her voice tense with emotion. "And what about you? What do you want?" Ryan met her gaze. There was no fear in his eyes, no pity, just the calm of a man who had made his choice. "I want nothing from you," he said. "I just want to help you find your own path." Her heart tightened, but she didn't speak. She wasn't sure what to feel anymore. The warships, the enemies, the violence, it was all part of her now, but so was this strange, quiet connection with Ryan. Suddenly, an alarm blared across the station. "Warning, incoming ship, unauthorized docking, all personnel report immediately." Ryan's hand went to the weapon at his side. "They've found us." Kari moved instantly, her body already shifting into a fighting stance, her eyes narrowing. "They'll never stop," she muttered. Ryan didn't respond, his gaze locked onto the control panel in front of him, scanning the data that blinked across the screen. "We need to move now." They both knew there was no time for hesitation. As the alarm blared louder, the door to the control room slid open, revealing 3 soldiers in heavy armor, guns drawn. They moved in quickly, their faces hidden behind dark visors. Ryan stepped forward, placing himself between Kari and the soldiers. His pistol pulse was raised, aimed at the nearest soldier. "We're not going down without a fight," he said. The leader of the soldiers, a tall man with a scar running across his face, chuckled. "You think you can stop us? You're outmatched, outgunned. Surrender now and we won't kill you." Kari's lips curled into a smile, but it wasn't a kind one. It was the smile of someone who had been pushed too far. "You messed with the wrong humans," she said. The soldier's smile faded. Before he could react, Kari moved. She was a blur of motion, faster than anyone could track. One soldier went down with a twist of his neck, the other with a punch to his chest that cracked armor and bones. The third soldier didn't get the chance to fire. Kari grabbed his arm and slammed him into the wall. His weapon flew from his hands, and she held him against the cold metal surface. Ryan stepped forward, his voice calm. "Not worth it, Kari." Kari looked at the soldier, her face inches from his. She could feel his heart race, the fear in his eyes. "You're lucky," she said softly, releasing him. The soldier scrambled back, shaking his head. He glanced at his comrades, then at Kari, before he turned and ran, dragging the other 2 with him. As the door slammed shut behind them, Ryan lowered his weapon and looked at Kari. "You didn't have to do that," he said. Kari stood still, her body still humming with the energy of the fight. "They'll never stop coming, and if they do, someone else will." Ryan didn't argue. He understood. "We need to get to the ship," he said. "It's time to leave this station." As they moved toward the ship's entrance, the station's alarms grew louder, the flashing lights growing brighter. They weren't done yet. More ships were on their way, and this time they weren't going to be as easy to fight off. Kari glanced at Ryan, and for the first time in days, she saw something like a flicker of hope in his eyes. "We'll make it," he said, his voice low but steady. Kari didn't answer. She didn't need to. She already knew. Together, they were more than just survivors. They were a force, and they were about to show the galaxy just what it meant to mess with humans. A new dawn. The stars outside the viewport shimmered like 1,000 silent watchers, their cold eyes reflecting the journey ahead. Ryan and Kari stood together on the bridge of the ship, the quiet hum of the engines filling the room. They had made it this far, but the war was not over. It was only just beginning. Kari's fingers rested on the edge of the control panel. Her mind raced, thinking about everything that had happened, her escape, the battles, the betrayal, and the strange, quiet path ahead. She was no longer the hybrid trapped in a cage, but neither was she free, not completely. "What now?" Kari asked, her voice steady but laced with uncertainty. Ryan didn't look at her right away. His gaze was fixed on the endless black ahead, the path that stretched before them, the stars, the cold emptiness. They weren't running anymore, but they weren't in control either. "We go to the edge of the galaxy," he said, his voice calm, almost distant. "A place where no one can find us. We stay off their radar, off their maps." Kari raised her eyebrow. "And then hide forever?" Ryan's expression softened for a moment. He turned to her, his eyes showing a rare vulnerability. "No," he said quietly. "We fight back." Kari didn't know what to say to that. She had never thought of fighting back. For her, survival had always been about staying one step ahead, about avoiding pain and control. But Ryan's words were different. They were a promise, not just to her, but to everything she had lost. The sudden beep of the station's comms broke the silence. Ryan tensed, his hand instinctively moving toward his weapon.
"Incoming transmission," he said, his tone sharp. He activated the communications system, and a hologram flickered to life.